This week's topics are sound-alike words and possessives versus plurals. When I say sound-alike words, some examples of those would be things like there, and there, where they all sound exactly the same, though they're spelled differently and have different meanings. In these cases, there, the first one, T-H-E-I-R, means belonging to them. There equals a place, and they are, T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, is they plus R. So I want to give you some tricks for remembering these, because these are really common mix-ups. A way to remember the T-H-E-I-R belonging to them version, if you drop the T and the I there, the word her is in there, and that's that same category, the possessive pronoun. So her and there have the same letters. That's one way to remember it. You also have there, the place. You can also say here. Any place you could substitute here, there is probably the correct one. Both of these are places. And the T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, they are. Just thinking about the apostrophe there is kind of like you have squished together the two words and half of that plus sign goes shooting off and the other one is at an angle. And so all of a sudden you've got they are. Also the A disappears. Another example of some words that people get mixed up, both versions of it's with and without the apostrophe. The one without the apostrophe means belonging to it. The one with the apostrophe means it is. So some tricks for remembering that. When it's without the apostrophe, it goes in the same category as his and hers. So neither of those have apostrophes. So remembering that in that same category, it's does not have an apostrophe either. Then with the it's with the apostrophe, similar to the they are contraction, this one you could conceive of it as being like it plus is, and then you squish them together, half the plus sign and the I disappear, and you're left with the apostrophe instead. Here's another common set of words that get mixed up. Affect and effect. We say both of those out loud as just effect. So it's hard to tell when you hear it, but there are two different meanings there. Affect with an A means to influence, it's a verb, and effect with an E is a noun, result, or consequence. Keeping in mind that the first one with the A is a verb, the second one with the E is the noun, it can help to remember A for action with the verb. So that's always the check I go for. Do I mean it as a verb or a noun? If it's the verb, if it's something doing something, that's the A, affect. Accept and accept. E-X-C-E-P-T versus A-C-C-E-P-T. Those also sound exactly alike when you say them out loud, but they do have two different meanings. The one with the X means all but or other than. The one with the two C's is to receive or to agree. So if you're trying to remember this, the easiest way I can think of to do it is think of the X as like Xing out something or eliminating. So when you say everything except this with the X, you're Xing out something. Another set that all sound exactly the same, two, and two. To is a preposition, is the first part of an infinitive verb form as well. The too means also, and two equals the number 2. So if you want to try and keep these straight, you can think of the too, meaning also or extra, it has an extra O. And thinking about the number 2, you can also think about things like twins. They also starts with TW. Alright, and so the other half of this lesson is about possessives versus plurals. Possessives are when you have an apostrophe plus an S, or an apostrophe after an S for plural possessives. You don't use apostrophes for possessive pronouns like his, hers, ours, its, theirs, and yours. The apostrophe plus S is the most common one. You could see Sam's house, Atlanta's perimeter, dog's bed, door's deadbolt. All of those, because they do not end in S, it's pretty straightforward. Just add apostrophe S at the end. It shows that whatever follows it belongs to the first part. When you have plurals, and it's ending with S, that's where you put the apostrophe after. Books covers, tigers stripes, girls shoes, all of those, because they end with S and they're plurals, you would put the apostrophe after. There are some exceptions to the rule about apostrophe S for singular and apostrophe after the S for plurals, and that would be when you have plurals that do not end with S. So if it's a plural but it doesn't end with S, you go ahead and treat it like it's singular, like children's wing or mice's home. Another exception would be if you have compound subjects. You add the apostrophe and S just like you do for singular. So Jill and Alex's house, the faculty and staff's lounge. When you have plurals, you do not use an apostrophe. That is the most important thing from this to remember. It is wrong to say I have 2 dogs, apostrophe S. It is correct to say I have 2 dogs without the apostrophe. It's really as simple as that. If it is a plural, you do not use the apostrophe. You just make it plural. If it's an S, no apostrophe with it. Otherwise, making it into a plural with no S, just do it like you normally would do it. If it is possessive, that's where you use the apostrophes. That's it for this week's lesson, so you can continue on to the quiz.